My name is Leo Connors, and welcome to The Ring and All Other Sports. Tonight I got a very special guest making his second appearance. First time alone.
Yes.
Last time he had a couple other guys with him. Good guys. Kid V.
Yay! Leo,
How you
great
doing,
to be
man?
here, man.
Thank
Thank you so much
you.
for having me.
And what happened? Something happened. I had to reschedule you.
Yep.
But here you are. And
3 months later.
yeah. Let's have some fun.
Absolutely.
Got a lot of fan questions.
Wonderful.
Ronnie Maestro, who I just saw this weekend. How has your professional growth evolved since the last time you were on with Leo's show?
Well, last time we were on, that was many months ago.
Yeah.
Almost 9 months ago?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. So there's been a lot of growing done since then. The biggest thing being just continuously training, continuously staying on the grind and learning everywhere you go.
Right.
No matter which show you go to, whether it be something that is they have all the stops pulled out and they're putting on the best show of their year and everything.
Right.
Or even if it's just a fair show, you go and you learn everything that you can. And that's one of the biggest things I've been trying to study from anyone and everyone. Biting the ears of almost any wrestler that I can. Hey, come here, I must learn your knowledge. And the biggest thing I've been trying to take away is just the depth of what it means to work.
Right.
Not just, hey, what moves can I do? What ones will look cool? Which ones might be able to, it's how can I work and save the last few remaining years that I'm gonna have, since I'm a little bit older than what my character portrays to be. But just be able to make what I can bring to the table work for the crowd. And that's the biggest thing I've been taking away from these last few months.
Nice. You definitely have that in you with the crowd. That interaction.
I've been trying.
You really do, which makes it awesome. Especially the adults love it, but the kids really love it.
And that's what I wrestle for. I wrestle for those kids. And it's when they light up, I go, wow, yes. That's how I felt when I finally first got into pro wrestling, which was at age 14, so maybe not as smiley and cheerful as them. But if I can make them light up like that, I'm very happy because then their parents are going to be like, wow, this guy, and it automatically gets their approval. So.
Absolutely, but it's not just for kids. I just wanted to make sure I said that because the adults love you too.
And I try to appeal to them. You know, you'll slide in a little joke that might go over the kids' heads, and but then they can go, oh, all right, we can laugh with this guy. He's all right.
The last guy I saw with some similar gimmick to what you're doing was Jesse, this kid. He played Cicero. I don't know if you ever saw him.
I don't recall.
But he was
that
with
one.
Chaotic and stuff for a while, and he branched out a little. But he was like a jester.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying you're a clown, but you like to have fun, and that's what he was doing.
Right.
And everybody loved him. Honestly, he was one of my favorite characters.
Wonderful. Well, I'm glad I can bring him
you're
back
there
in
too.
your memory. Thank you.
All right. Next question. I love this guy because he always asks questions about himself.
Yes.
The politician.
The politician.
Thoughts? I love Matt. Great guy.
Thoughts on the politician?
Yes.
I don't know, Matt. Do you really want these answers?
I think he's got thick skin. I do.
I really do think he does. No, Matt's great. I've seen him so many times when I just go, hey, I've got a free weekend. I'm going to show up to a show, help out with ring crew, see what I can do, just network a little bit. Every show I went to, there he was. Yeah. I'm going, man, he beats me everywhere.
And he's smart.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you want to get yourself out there, that's how you do it. You just show up, you say, hey, I'm here to serve, I'm here to do what I can. And Matt is always there.
Yeah.
And he gets there and he's trying to see if, whatever the show needs, hey, are you going to need someone to wrestle? Are you going to need someone to ref? Do you just need help with ring crew?
Right, security.
Right, and he is there and he's willing to do it all. And, that's great. And, I go in there, and I'm looking to do the same thing and I'm like, darn it, he beat me.
Right.
How am I supposed to be like, yeah, I'm also here? But he's out there, he's networking. Yes. The one thing I don't like.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you. As much as I believe my Kid V is such a carny character.
Right.
Kid V is out there, he's wacky, he's silly, and the politician is out there in a different kind of sense.
Yes.
But in my opinion, we've moved on from having the first name of the. It's just, that's my
You'd like
opinion.
to see him with a name.
The times have changed a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, I hear you.
And sure, bringing a throwback like that is absolutely fine. But at the same time, it's just not my favorite thing.
Right.
But again, different folks, different priorities, different opinions and
Right.
everything. But I would love to see, even if he had a cool made up name or
Right.
something like that, I think that would just be able to hit people a little bit differently.
And there's not a lot of political names that people would know.
Right. You
So.
could, I don't know.
I think no matter what, eventually he's gonna need a name eventually for that character
I agree.
to evolve.
I think so. And I would love to see it. And maybe, hey Matt, maybe take on something like with the last name Kennedy or something like that. Go ahead and just throw your rope onto any
Roosevelt,
right?
Anything.
You can take any political figure
Yeah.
name and just hop onto that family dynasty
That'd
and
be
just give a
funny.
little nudge wink to the camera,
Read up about him.
Right. And I think that would be
I like that.
I think that would be great. I think that would be a great next step for his character. But I mean, you take a look at Matt, he's been grinding, he's been improving.
Oh yeah.
And I have so much admiration for the hard work that he puts in and all the effort that he's putting in. And
Right.
I've been seeing him show up on more and more shows and everything like that. And that's fantastic. Those are the steps that, I hope he continues to follow through with. And
Right.
to my knowledge, that's what he's been doing. So he's doing all the right things in my opinion.
Right. He had a promo at the last Concord show. Well, actually, it was the first Concord show for WFA in
Yep.
that building. And he opened the show with it, and he did great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
He's natural on the mic.
Yes.
He knows how to get the heat.
All right. Next, Sonny Goodspeed. What are your goals for 2023?
Oh, Sonny. Shout out to Sonny. I gotta say, it's hard. I've been trying to be goal orientated.
Okay.
Or oriented, whatever
Right.
it is. I've been trying to set goals, but at the same time, my life is just a little hectic. I'm trying to play catch up all the time.
Right.
So right now, with my family schedule, I'm trying to find balance.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I've been learning a lot over at Next Gen, and the one thing Bud has been telling me,
Right.
Jay, you got to find balance. You got to
Yes.
find balance. And I'm going, I want to run headlong into whatever.
And he would
obstacles."
know, with the
Absolutely.
family himself. So,
Absolutely.
good advice.
So, as much as I want to say, this year I'm going to go to this place and that place and that place, all I can say is that all I want to do is continue wrestling.
Right.
Do I have ideas of of things I'd love to do? Absolutely. Myself and Monty Aries, who
Yes,
is a
the
dear
neighborhood.
friend. Monty, I'm mentioning you on this one. I'm not going to forget you on this one. I'm mentioning you by name. There you go. Monty Aries, my best friend, my brother in arms, my tag team partner
Yep.
with the neighborhood. Him and I got to go down to CZW for a little tryout. We hope to return. We've been reaching out to them. They've reached out to us.
Nice.
Unfortunately, logistically, it's hard to get down there because
Right.
it's a 6-hour drive
Yeah.
for us. But we don't want to be deterred from that.
Right. Right.
Monty and I both have plans to try to get noticed enough to make the Chaotic Countdown this year.
Yep.
That has been something since I was starting training.
Right. When you started there.
Yes, over a
Right.
decade ago now.
Yes.
I got to almost be part of one.
Right.
I had this is going a little bit into
Good.
story
I'd
time.
love to hear it.
So many moons ago, back when it was Omega Security doing
Yes.
that.
Tony Omega.
Tony Omega was in charge of security. So this is a long time ago. I got to, I was one of the students there, and I was playing security.
Right.
And I remember these teenagers coming in through the crowd, and I do my best while I'm a security to hype up the crowd.
Right.
Because at the time they didn't really know me.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
And
So-
that's helping the show, too.
Absolutely. So they go, hey, is Rick Fuller gonna be in tonight? Right.
You hope.
Right. And I hope too, but no one told me anything about the card.
Right.
They just told me my spot. So I'm like, I don't know, but it's a Chaotic Countdown. You never know who's gonna be in it. And I take my seat
Yeah.
inside the ring post, and I'm letting everything happen. And then the whole show is going to number 30. And the Omega music hits again for like the third time that night.
Okay.
Because Tony had come out and another security guard had
Yeah.
come out. And the music hits. And I remember, oh, this is my spot. This is my spot. I didn't even hear what they announced.
Yeah.
I don't know what they called me. I don't know anything like that, but I just jump up. I turn to those few teenagers that had come in. That's me. I'm in the countdown. That's me. These 4 kids went absolutely nuts.
Of course.
And they're like, we talked to him.
Yep.
So I'm going nuts. They're going nuts. And then I get attacked from behind, and someone takes.
So you got in the ring. Oh, someone.
I didn't even get in.
Oh
So-
man.
But that was such a big jump for me.
Right. Of course.
Just
of course.
going from just sitting there and making sure everything in the show goes well.
You had a spot.
to having a spot.
Yeah.
And something as minor as that. Oh my goodness. Since then I want to actually make it into the ring for one of these.
And how many years was that? Did you guess? You could just guesstimate. 8,
I would
10?
say 12.
Wow.
12 years
No
ago
kidding.
probably. I think
That's amazing.
13 years ago actually this January I had my very first match.
Okay.
So, now it's, oh my goodness, it's been 13 years. I've been back
Right.
into wrestling for a year. So I took almost, 12 years off. And now, as I said, Monty and I are trying to do some full circle stuff.
Right,
Chaotic
absolutely.
Countdown, CZW would be fantastic.
Right.
And just continuing to build our name here in New England.
Yep.
I know
Good
Beyond.
company down in Connecticut. If you ever get NEW, that's
Yep.
That's a really good company.
I want to get down to Connecticut as a personal goal again.
Right.
And if I can do it this year, it'd be wonderful. Currently, APW New England champ. So one of the things I want to do is wrestle in each state in New
Right.
England before I would lose the title.
Okay.
If I ever lose the title.
Right.
Because,
You never know.
Right. But Connecticut's that last one.
Right.
And I just haven't had anyone close to help me get a foothold there.
Right.
I haven't been able to do a whole lot of networking down there because it's not like I can just hop in my car and take
Right.
a 20-minute drive down the road and
No,
be like,
it's
hey, I'm going to help out.
Yes.
So-
and that would be the best way. It brings, it
Absolutely.
brings tell them you can send them a link of something
Yep.
or whatever.
Pioneer Valley Pro Wrestling down
Another
there.
company, yes.
So I'm trying to break the ground, but that's what it's all about this year.
Right.
Is what I said to Monty is let's make the same progress this year that we made last year.
Right.
And that's what we're looking at doing.
Nice.
So that's 2023 for us, hopefully.
Yeah. And I'd love to see you guys with that at the WFA shows too.
That's
when I'm doing the
that-
concessions.
That's another
for and
plan that
stuff, so.
we've got going.
Excellent. All right, next question. Dave Fournier, what motivates you to keep training and getting in the ring?
Nothing I think could stop me from training. When it comes down to it, the only I stopped training to take health days,
Right.
mental and physical. I get beat up. That's what the job is.
Right.
Sometimes just mentally you're not into it. You just, man, I just had a really junk weekend. For instance, I just fixed my windshield this morning. That costs money out of
Oh, yeah.
pocket. And then you're just, oh man, what am I doing?
Right.
So, you take a couple of days for yourself. You do what you have to do. But when it comes down to it, I have fun getting into that ring. Period. The end.
Right.
I can't foresee myself ever stop training
Nice.
because whether I'm in there training for a match that I'm going to have coming up, whether I'm in there helping someone else train,
Right.
or whether I'm there just enjoying the atmosphere. Because that's the thing, these training schools, you're a brotherhood in the training school.
Oh
and
yeah,
then
they're
you're
like your family now.
Absolutely. And then it becomes a bigger family
Right.
once you get to shows and you're seeing the
Yes.
same people at shows.
Yep.
And hey man, how you been? How the family? And
Yep. Building your network.
Absolutely, but it's you have these families upon families and
Right.
all these people that are just wonderful. And of course, it's kind of like high school. You got some people that you just don't click with. You got some people
Right.
that you click great with. You got some people that you would not introduce to your other friends and family.
Yep.
But that's how it is. It's just this connection. And I think I said it once again back when I was with Chaotic. It doesn't matter if I'm 65 and I'm helping set up chairs
Right.
at a show.
Yep.
This is what I want to do. This is what brings me joy. This is my hobby.
Yep.
And if I can just help out in any way, whether it's giving some advice, whether it doesn't even have to be wrestling advice. It could just be, hey, so
Oh, you're doing the 68-year-old
Right?
version of yourself. All right.
Hey, maybe you should save up at least 2 months' rent. Just keep it to the side. Always have it. Keep a nest egg.
You were talking to my dad. Seriously, he's been like it's smart advice though.
Right.
because something's gonna happen.
Absolutely.
Your life
Something-
could go wonderful for 3 years, but you know something
Something
is
happens.
gonna happen.
And as long as, if I can just give advice like that and,
Right.
to some young guy that just doesn't know finances, right out of high school, they don't teach that stuff anymore. Right out of high school, if I can just be like, hey, I know I'm this old codger to you, but if you just take a second of your time, if I can just help someone, put a smile on someone else's face, that's the big thing. And that's why I always want to be at training.
Yeah.
Like after this, I'm gonna go pick up Monty and we're heading to training.
Nice, because you are now an assistant training. Maverick Wild wanted me to make sure I asked you about that.
Absolutely. So at Next Gen, one of the things that Bud has always said, and this is the big reason why I stay with Next Gen,
Right.
is that he's never said, I promise to make you a pro wrestler. I promise that I can get you eyes upon here or there or this company or that company. From day one since I entered that building, which, by the way, is a new building now. They just got their new facility.
I just heard about
Yes.
that. Congratulations,
Thank
guys.
you. And his first thing that he said was, look, I'm not here to make you a pro wrestler or referee, or I can't guarantee that that's going to happen. What I can promise you is that I'm going to try to enrich your life through pro wrestling. The lessons that you take from pro wrestling, the bonds that you make in pro wrestling, to help you through your everyday life, to put towards your work life, your family life.
Right.
That is something that since I started wrestling back all those years ago, that I went, wow, that is something that I can really get into.
Right. And respect.
Absolutely.
Like you said, he didn't promise you nothing.
No.
But help.
Right.
Lots of help.
Lots
in
of
different
help
ways.
and just being able to give you that opportunity.
Yeah.
And since I started, I knew what I was when I first started. I was 5'7", 140 pounds soaking wet. I've only gained an inch and 25 pounds since then. And I'm going, and I'm not a guy that does the flips.
Right.
That's just not in me. My back hurts too much.
Right.
So I went, wow, so being able to just put smiles on faces and everything like that, that's something that I wanted to do.
Right.
And I knew, all right, maybe I'm not going to shoot for the WWE or, I didn't think I could make it back then.
Right. No,
So I
yeah.
set realistic expectations on myself, so I didn't disappoint me.
Yep.
But when he's saying that this is what he wants to do, I went, that's exactly what I've wanted to do. So when he offered me to be able to assist and just reinforce the lessons that himself, that Maverick Wild, that Julian Starr are teaching, and just help out any of the students that might be, newer.
Is that what you're helping with? A lot of the newer guys?
Students, even sometimes I'll be in there and, I'm letting the trainers take their spots, but sometimes I'm just sitting at a different angle than them. So I can catch something that they're not able to because you got two bodies in their way.
Right.
You got a head like, hey, just tighten it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Something as simple as that. Oh, thanks, Jay. I couldn't see him from around here.
Right.
So something as simple as that. The other thing is we usually like to keep the school open after the scheduled hours. So now you don't have a trainer there.
Right.
Or sometimes, like I'll have a key. Now that we have the new building, I don't have a key anymore. But once I get a key, hey guys, I'm going in a little early on Friday. I don't work on Fridays.
Oh, nice.
If you guys want to come in, get some warm-ups done, don't do anything too crazy. That's the one.
Yeah. You got to be safe too.
Right.
Absolutely.
So don't do anything too crazy, but I can open up the school. We can do warm-ups. We can just, stay warm and let people take all the extra practice that they need while being like
That's awesome.
hey guys, don't do anything stupid.
Right.
So that's really what I'm there for. Don't do anything stupid, an extra set of eyes, and just to reinforce what is already being taught.
That's awesome.
But it's an honor. It's a privilege.
It's got to be, and it's a huge help to them. Some people might go, "Oh, that's not." It is. I guarantee it.
Right.
They wouldn't have you doing it if it wasn't helping.
Right.
All right. Excuse me, Andy Miller. Who has been your toughest opponent?
Oh. Well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna assume that they mean physically toughest.
Yeah, sure.
We'll go with that assumption. And can we say anything more than Congo?
Well, yeah, but you know who else I thought you did wrestle Stiff Mike too? Did you?
Nope.
No, that's Monty.
Right.
I'm sorry,
Monty wrestled
no, it
Stiff
was
Mike.
Monty.
Directly, Stiff Mike and I haven't gone toe to toe. We were in the Rumble together, the Clipper City Rumble, but I haven't had to go toe to toe with him quite yet. But I got to say, for me, it's got to be Congo.
Right. Okay.
I mean, think about what this man has gone through in the past year.
absolutely.
And he is on
He'll
a
be
fast track to be back.
Yeah,
I
he'll be
cannot
back.
wait for that, Congo.
Me too, Congo. Keep going. Keep getting better and
Yep.
better. You
Stay
know.
strong.
We'll
Stay
see you
strong.
soon. Andy also says, "Would you like to be a heel someday?"
Honestly, no. I have no interest in it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think there's a question later on about a storyboard.
Okay.
At the same time, I want to tell a fantastic story. And if that means, hey, Kid V, we're thinking maybe about doing the heel thing, I'm willing to do it. But I know as far as my work in the ring,
Yeah.
I'm a stronger baby face.
Right.
I have a punchable face, and it's everyone's like, he's got a punchable face, boom. But it's one of those punchable faces that people actually feel bad when they get punched.
Nice.
So, as much as it would be fun as a character to play a heel, I know where my strengths and weaknesses lie.
Right.
I'm working on it, as we all have to.
Right.
We're
Of course.
all, But if there was a story that really intrigued me, and they really hit the nail on the head,
Yeah.
and we could deliver in a proper way, I'd be interested.
All right. Excellent. Travis Mulletman Hinton. Are you in cahoots with Sonny Defarge? Travis, I don't know who Sonny Defarge is.
If I recall, and I've only been up to ETWA once,
Yep.
I do believe Sonny is their heavyweight champion.
Oh, okay.
And I gotta say, I deny all cahoots.
Okay.
No cahoots over here. No owls over here. We ain't hooting
Yep.
in the ka or in the ku ways.
Well, I am definitely going to look up who Sonny Defarge is now. So thank you.
ETWA.
ETWA?
They release a lot of stuff on YouTube.
Excellent. I will
So-
definitely be checking that out. All right.
Absolutely.
Mav. Now, has anything since Mav had returned? What's the most thing that you've gotten out of the school since Mav has
So
come aboard?
unfortunately, about the same time Mav came on board, my work schedule changed.
Oh,
I work third shift.
yeah.
And it used to be 5 8-hour shifts. They just switched to 4 10-hour shifts.
That's my sister does that. Yeah.
I love 4 10-hour shifts.
Right.
I love it if I could get my sleep though.
Yeah. No, yeah. You
So-
gotta sleep sometime.
Right, and that goes back to the balance that Bud talks about. So I don't get out of work until 9:30 in the morning. Can't get home till 10. By the
Yeah.
time you eat and you shower and everything, it's very late. And Mav runs the Thursday classes, and usually because they start at 4,
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
just
wow.
still dead
That's
to the
early.
world. Yes.
That's early for
Tuesdays and Thursdays we open pretty early, and then as I said, they end the class usually at 7. But
Right.
it's like, hey, if you got a key,
Yeah, I work third shift too, and
Right.
I found for myself that it was better to treat it like if I was working first shift.
Yep.
I'd get up an hour and a half before I had to go to work.
Yes.
And I'd stay up for a little while, go to sleep around 12 o'clock.
Yep.
Sleep till 8:30.
Right.
But
Absolutely.
it's so hard to really get that sleep.
Oh, absolutely.
Most of the time I didn't.
Right.
Yep.
So I haven't gotten to hit as many as Mav's classes as I would like to. The last one I went to, which is a perfect example of, just really nitpicking Mav's brain, Monty and I, we're like children, really. We just sat down Indian style on the floor in front of him while he was telling us, hey, this is where you should be networking. He gave us just from networking to gear to whatever questions that we had.
Right.
Hey, what do you think about these moves? What do you think about this? And I think we must have spent 45 minutes just chit-chatting.
Nice.
And
That's
just
good.
kind of leeching off his brain.
Yep.
And that's been one of the biggest things with Mav. He teaches us, and he also teaches us a lot of these little old school tricks.
Right.
Where it's, he played a fantastic heel in his
sure
day.
did.
And so he's just
Sure
like,
did.
hey, okay, that was cool, but let me show you something that's got economy of movement. You save your movement, but you make it count. And for instance, the staple gun. He's like, just you get him in the corner, you put your back to him, put your hands up, put your elbow right on the side of their face, boop. And I'm like, it's so simple.
Right.
But it works. It makes you such a heel, You're
yeah.
Come on, guy. That's not. Nope. Well, there goes that.
No, but you're right though, and I can see that that's something Mavid wanted to do for a while. And,
Right.
And I'm grateful to see him back involved.
Absolutely. And
Because you could see he wanted to be.
and he's itching to get back in the ring right
Yes,
now. I think
yes.
he's looking at possibly a show in March.
Yes. And I already told him that I'm pretty sure that WFA ain't running, which, like I said, I do the concessions. So.
Right.
But, all right. Ask him if he'd like to purchase this 1981 copy of the Feed Folio. Is that what I always say?
Yep.
From TSR, which I have no idea is.
Honestly,
with
neither
the
do I.
food from Don Turnhill. Do you know?
So
you know this?
nope. So a majority of that I can
Yeah.
tell you is just gibberish to me.
Yeah.
But over this past weekend, I was on Facebook and I'm bragging because one of my biggest hobbies, and I got to be careful with my hobbies
Okay.
because
I have hobbies that I can't talk about.
yeah, well, my severe ADHD gets me hyper fixated on one thing, and luckily for the last year, it's been wrestling.
Right.
And I've been feeling it kind of shift. Back in high school, I played the old Dungeons and Dragons because I'm a nerd. I will go ahead and freely admit that I'm one of the biggest nerds you'll ever meet.
All right.
But Dungeons and Dragons, I loved it. And this weekend, I got my children to play with me,
Excellent.
and they loved it. I mean, at one point, I just hop on my bed to just take a little relaxer. You know
Yeah.
how cold it was this weekend and everything. I was just like, all right,
Brutal.
let me just lay down for a sec. So I laid down, and then my oldest daughter, she's 12, she jumps right across me, and then puts her arms in and her legs up, so my arms are pinned to my side. I'm like, what the heck's going on here?
Right.
My youngest daughter runs around the bed, grabs a pillow, and starts beating me in the face.
Good thing it wasn't a chair.
And-
Good thing he had pillows.
Right. And they both start chanting, more D&D, more. I'm like, y'all, leave me alone.
You created some monsters.
Yes, I mean, absolutely.
But it's nice that they like things that you like.
Right. I mean,
I don't know how long it's gonna last because I have kids
Right.
that are adults now. But yeah,
we're trying
things
to.
change quick.
Absolutely. I keep on telling my oldest one, like, she'll come, they still do nighttime movie with us.
Oh, nice.
So my oldest one, she's a daddy's girl.
Yep.
So she'll come and still cuddle up with me.
Right.
And, I'll take her, we'll be watching the movie, eating popcorn, and I'll have an out-of-body experience where it's like, this won't last forever, the ghost of future teenage years.
Yeah.
So I'll just turn to her, I love this because you're not going to want to cuddle with dad much longer. You're going to be a teenager soon. You're going to have a
Yep.
boyfriend and all that. No, I would never. I'm like, oh, just you wait. I'm going to be a dumb guy compared to you.
It's incredible though, because I worked at an elementary, and like the years that they really start, you could tell pull away from the parents is like fifth.
Yep.
Start, not all kids,
Right.
But some kids it starts at about the fifth grade.
Yeah. But so that's probably got to be something with D&D, the Fiend Folio.
yeah.
But, unfortunately, I ain't got a whole lot of money. I just bought a couple of squares. Maybe after we hit on the Super Bowl.
Maybe if he hits all four squares, all 4 quarters. All right. I know this is like for me. I know you and your tag partner, Manny Aries, are together as the neighborhood. Recently, you guys went down to CZW, and how did that go?
It was such an experience. My goodness. So
You met with DJ Hyde.
yes.
Okay.
And what a fantastic guy.
Yep.
He we upset him a little bit, but to go in a little, I'm looking at the time. We got time for a little bit of stories. I say that like I'm some kind of veteran. I'm sorry, but we end up getting a call the day before, and it's Focus Pro, and they're running a show in Everett, and they're like, "Hey, we need a guy."
Right.
And I turned to Monty. I go, "Man, we got to go to Jersey." And they're like, "We really need a guy."
Right.
All right, we'll go down. So I told Monty, I'm like, tell him I'll go down with you. We unfortunately right now financially we're sharing a car.
Right.
The whole nine. We're just making it work.
Yep.
So we go down to Focus Pro the night before. Monty had kind of a bum shoulder, and he irritated it
Right.
in the match that he had. I had a match that was less than spectacular.
Okay.
Just wasn't up to the par that I put myself at.
Right.
And I'm not saying that I'm number one, but I'm just saying, that could have gone better.
Right.
So I was in my head mentally, but that show goes on till 9, 10 o'clock at night. You know how shows go.
Right, of course.
So we go from Everett back to Manchester and get a quick nap in, probably a 2-hour nap.
Right.
And then we're leaving at 3:30 in the morning to drive down to Jersey. And I just look at Monty, and he's still baby in that shoulder. I go, Monty, you get in the passenger seat, get some
Go to
sleep.
sleep.
And that's what we did. I just
Yeah.
drove us all the way down.
Right.
And the George Washington Bridge for once was actually like agreeable.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Wow.
So that in itself was a small miracle. We get there, it's cold out.
oh, yeah. What's
going on?
Saturday, too.
Oh man, yeah. What's going on? How we doing? Like, you all right, bro? And he's like, he was awake at this point because he popped for Wawa's. You ever hear of that gas
Oh,
station?
yeah. Sure have.
He popped so hard for this gas
Like
station.
out 7-Eleven.
Right. He's
Pretty
like,
much what it is.
he jumps up.
Good store.
They got a Wawa's?
Big, too.
Yes.
Very big.
Just
the ones I've been in.
Right. I've never been into one
Yeah.
because, I've been up here in the north the whole time. And
Yep.
even when I was down south, I'm not going, oh, well, this very particular brand of gas station.
Wawa.
Wawa.
Yeah. It is. It's it's very popular.
Yeah, it's nice,
Yeah.
But I was just like, man, you're popping
You
for the
can get
gas station.
almost anything in a Wawa.
you really can.
Really?
So we grabbed some food, we hop over, and we just have this, there must have been about 60, 70 people there for this tryout. And some,
Oh, yes. I think I saw a picture.
probably.
Somebody posted of everybody. You guys in like the bleachers?
Yes,
Yeah,
that was
I
it.
did see the picture.
So big tryout and everything. And Monty and I, we got this little thing, a little wink nod. It's like, hey, we show up, we show out,
Right.
That's the whole reason why we're down there.
Right.
So we go in there, we're doing our best to stand out in some way, shape, or form. And they have us doing some basic drills, and they split the class in half, and half of them went off to do promos. We're doing in-ring drills. Excuse me.
Yeah, no problem.
But then they have us doing some of these workouts, and with my limited time, I don't get to hit the gym as much as I want to.
Right.
So all I've got are some free weight dumbbells at my place. So it's like we'll just
Right.
and they're having us do like this deadlift, and I'm like, I ain't never deadlifted before in my life. So I'm trying to do it exactly the way that they showed us. They're like, just get the bag up. So it's, big bags, big sandbag. And they want us to raise it up, clean lift, flip it onto our arms, do a squat, slam it down. And because I'm so big on doing the clean lift and getting the flip down,
Right.
I can't do it. I couldn't do it. I'm just like, and this is after we've done blow up drills and everything like that. So they give me the lighter bag, and I was the only one in the class that took the lighter bag. And I'm like, oh no! But everyone else, they'd get the bag up here, and then they'd reach under.
Yeah.
And then they'd
So awkward.
right, they'd muscle it up and do the squat, and they'd be like, yeah. And I'm just like, but I want to do it the right way,
Right.
because A, that's how y'all showed us how to do it. B, I don't want to hurt myself.
Right.
So I was the only one that took the small bag, but I was doing it the way that they showed
Right.
us. But it was so fun because it was stuff that we hadn't done. It's stuff that there are some things that we hadn't seen, and then we had to go do our promo, which was on the fly, and we did a tag team promo on the fly. That's never easy because you
Right.
never know what the other guy's gonna say.
Right.
Monty and I, luckily, we got a nice rapport. Usually, if I say something, he can work right off of it. He'll say something, I'll say something out of the blue, and he can just give me that look, kid, yo.
Right.
And it's beautiful. So we went down there and we just had such a great time and such a learning experience, and really found a lot of the spots where we had weaknesses in. But because of that and because of the logistics, Monty had just gotten a new job the week before.
Right.
They decide that they want to do I think they were doing a show called Scouting Combine.
Right.
And they said, all right, everyone that's here, we're going to be running a show. So we want you to stay for the show. Some of you are selected to be in the show.
Right.
Take a 45-minute break and come back. And Monty and I looked at each other. We're looking at the time. We're like, we thought the show was going to start running at 3.
Right.
It's already 4:45 and they haven't even started the show yet.
Right.
We're taking a 45-minute break and the show starts at 6.
Right.
I had just driven down there. Monty had work in the morning.
Right.
So we're both looking at each other like, oh no, logistically, I don't think we can do this.
Right.
Because we didn't want him taking time off of his work immediately.
Right,
Because,
right.
you know, we don't want to start on a bad foot there.
Right.
So we actually had to pull from the show. They actually did line us up and had us planned to be on that.
Right.
And I don't know if I've ever apologized so many times in my life.
Right.
Just so sorry. Logistically, we thought the show would be earlier. It's a Sunday show. Yeah, I think it was actually on a Sunday.
Right.
So we're like, you know, we thought the show would be earlier with, you know, matinee shows usually on Sundays. And we had to apologize and bow out and then start our drive back home, which worked out because by the time we got home, it had started snowing. But it was just, it was an upset because there was such an opportunity that I feel that we missed.
Right.
But I feel like we did the thing that was right for what we had to do for our lives continuing.
Right. I
'Cause,
gotcha.
you know, you got to pay the rent.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta do what you gotta do to survive.
Right.
So we're hoping to get contacted with CZW. They seem
Nice.
very interested, and you know, and I just killed 7 minutes telling a random story about CZ Dubs.
Nice. And did you like meet any, like, did anybody stand out in your eyes that you got to meet?
So I'm not very familiar with a lot of the talent down there.
Right.
Unfortunately, my brain is an absolute just mesh pot. Nothing stays in there.
Right. Okay.
So names are the first thing that goes.
Right.
But there was a couple of guys that really stood out to me that I only remember small things about them. There's a man named Spencer who had been there and had to take some time off with injury. He looked like an absolute tank. You know,
Did he have a headgear? Like amateur wrestling headgear?
he didn't wear it for the tryout, but I'm not sure as far as, you know.
Because he's the
character.
only one I know with that name.
Yeah.
There's a guy that's working.
That's possibly him.
Spencer Slade's his name. Was the guy that I'm talking about.
All right. I can't, as I said, I can't recall. My mind is just.
He wrestled around here for New England All-Star Wrestling.
Really?
Yeah, he did a UFW show for Pat Dillon.
All right.
And I think he may eventually be working for WFA, if I'm not
Beautiful.
mistaken. I know Pat Dillon wants to use him again for sure. And he is very, very talented. That
Awesome.
Spencer Slade.
Right. We had there was a man called the Thespian. My God, when he got up to do his promo, you know, like in class where you don't want to be the first one to present,
Right.
and then that one kid goes up and presents, and you're like, now I don't want to be the second one to present because he does so well.
Yeah.
That was this guy. He was the Thespian, just eloquent and just so good. And I remember at this tryout, you know, we were doing rolls, corner to corner rolls. And anytime someone got to my corner, I'd try to just rattle them up a little bit. My little chaos gremlin comes
Right.
out when I'm Kid V. So I'll say random things just to see how people react. And I remember as he rolled to my corner, I just looked at him and I just go, "You look like you'd be really good at hide and seek." And he just and rolled away.
Right.
just trying to see what people's reactions would be. As I said, little chaos gremlin. I'm horrible,
Right.
but
All right. So there are a lot of good tag teams on the New England indie scene.
Absolutely.
That I could see you and Monty as the neighborhood taking them on. Can you tell us any teams in New England that you guys would like to take on?
let's see. MSP.
Yep.
Off the top of my head, MSP always is going to be number one. We've got to face them once already.
Right.
I would.
APW. Right?
No, actually, that was up Vacation Land.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yes, we went up to their turf. We want them to
So
come
like
back down.
the Vacation Land Cup? Or like,
Nope.
With
this was-
from that promotion,
yes,
though, right?
same
Okay.
promotion though.
Okay.
But yeah, we went up to their turf up in Maine
Yeah.
to have a match. Now we want them to come down to us and see how it is over, on our level.
Yeah. Well, they wrestled all over, man. All over New England for sure.
I gotta say, as much as
They're
I joke
good.
about going up to them,
Yeah.
I think New England belongs to them right now. As far as tag teams go,
I got a team for you
All
right
right.
now. I'm going to tell you.
please do.
Right now, they're killing it everywhere they go. The Miracle Generation.
Miracle Generation.
Kylon King and Dustin Waller.
Yep.
Those guys right now are unbelievable. They're on a roll.
Yep.
And Dustin is really coming into his own as a
absolutely.
singles, too.
Yes, I would really, when it comes down to it,
But MSP probably is number one.
yeah.
Right now.
Well, MSP and I and
right
the
with
neighborhood,
them.
we connected. Monty has a very personal connection with those guys. Me, having met them, we just get along really
Right,
well.
right.
So it's always, we saw them at the last APW show. It's always a bag of laughs with those guys. And I've taken quite a few of their pre-match rituals for myself. So, they've kind of mentored us in some ways. So I'll have a match with them anytime, but really give us any tag team.
Right.
We want to grow with our experience level of tag teams. And having Buddy as our, as the owner of the school, Nightbreed and how long Nightbreed went on for.
Yep, a long time.
Successful. Time. So we're trying to replicate, something like that where we can just be a tag team that goes places and does so much together. But at the same time, I understand that, I have more commitments in my personal life right now than Monty does at the moment. So, while as much as we love tagging together and having that, I've told him, hey, make sure you continue taking bookings when I can't make it on those weekends. Do you?
He can do both.
Absolutely,
he
could
do both. Like we were just talking about that tag team. I mean, I'm sure Kylon's probably wrestling some on his own too.
Right.
I just haven't caught it online yet.
Right.
But those guys are good. There's a lot of great tag teams. We'll be sitting here for a while.
Yes, we would be.
I was gonna say if you would name a few. All right. How about? Can you tell us some of the tag teams you faced already? You said you wrestled MSP.
MSP, and those guys are just they got their own pace to a match.
Okay.
Especially up in Maine where that crowd is just alive for them.
Right.
Monty and I, one thing that we have to break is the fact that we know, like at APW, we're very over, so we come out there, and we get that cheer. We're not used to going out there and just being kind of quiet.
Yeah.
Or even worse, not getting cheered because we're facing the town favorites.
Right.
So we went out there and we're like, oh, this is new. All right, here's a little challenge for us. We still brought the same amount of energy that we would any show.
Right.
But it was a weird situation to be in. But we worked with it. But everything MSP did, just every little move, they start doing that little dance thing, and the crowd just gets built up. So, we had to learn how to work at that pace, while we're still learning tag team stuff. Most of the other tag teams that we've been against have been thrown together. We faced the Rat Bastards out of New Jersey twice.
Okay. And I don't know those guys. But
yep.
Now, who would you wrestle them for?
Impulse, both times too.
Excellent.
So the last meeting that we had with them, they were actually our first tag team match and our most recent tag team match.
Okay.
So there was a nice little bit of time between the two. And the things that we had just been able to pick up and learn, whether it's talking to Bud, whether it's having random mishmash matches here or there, we were able to bring to the table the second time, and we had a much better match the second time with them. And great guys, we're in the locker room, we're all joking around. So just good guys, and they know what they wanted to get out of the match. We knew what we wanted to get out of the match, and we were able to mesh the second time much more because of the experiences we've been able to draw upon.
Right.
So, but these guys were willing to do whatever it took to make sure we had a great match.
That's nice. And Impulse was in, what city was that in?
So the first Impulse show was somewhere in New Hampshire. Both of them were actually in New Hampshire.
Oh, okay.
The second one was on New Year's Eve up in Claremont, and they do like this whole town get-together.
Right.
So we got to be at their at a big community building, beautiful place.
Right.
They had like the indoor pool going, so you got kids in the pool.
Oh, cool.
And, they had like a live animal show and bowling and everything.
Oh, wow.
So the whole town does this little thing.
Yeah.
So it was great, and I got to bring my kids, and we did the wrestling, and after that, I'm going over and trying to huddle out there, and hey, you girls want to go see the animals? Well, yeah, let's go see the animals. And I've got other little kids coming up to me. Hey, can you sign my arm? And I'm like,
nice.
Yep, just give me a second. Just give me a second, girls. I'll be right there. Go look at the snake. I'll skip out on that one.
Right.
But it was just a blast, and Impulse has these shows that are usually just very light, very fun. And
that's cool.
Owen, it's Obro that runs it.
Oh, Owen Brody, yeah.
And he does his best to always have like this little story that goes throughout the night. Because I know that they're not very consistent on when they're able to have shows.
Right.
But every time they have a show, they got a little storyline that goes throughout
cool.
the whole night.
That's
and
good.
it's wonderful.
Nice. All right. I get some more fan questions. That's
Absolutely.
right. Mike Tedesco.
Teddy.
Who are your favorite wrestlers to train with?
No, everyone but Teddy.
Okay. All right.
No, everyone has their own unique things that they bring to the table when
Absolutely.
you're training with them. So sometimes, when I'm in go mode, I might be like, yeah, it's a little frustrating that we have the newer guys here. I want to really just go right now.
Right.
But at the same time, there are days where I'm just like, nah, this is great. I get to really refine my lens. All right, headlock takeovers, and I can be like, oh, you know what? I could do this to make it just a little bit more smoother.
Right.
I'll notice something on their footwork that they did wrong where I'm going, oh wait, I do the same thing. And so because of that, you can refine yourself, whether it be a newer guy, a more advanced guy.
Right.
It really, for me, it depends on what the day brings. But personality-wise, there's not a person that I've been, not wanting to get in the ring with. Sometimes just, sometimes I just get there and I'm just not feeling it at all, and I just want to be there for the atmosphere.
You okay?
Because you're beat up, you're just having the mental day, or again. So sometimes you just want to get there and kind of chill out. Maybe just be that extra 2 cents on the outside of the ring. Hey, this, or some of the newer students are having a hard time remembering a drill.
Right.
So you're calling it out for them as they're running to get them used to having their ears open. So there's something that you can take away no matter who you step in the ring with.
Absolutely.
And everyone at Next Gen, we're a big family over there. You got guys that just personality-wise are off the wall, like off the wall, but you laugh with them,
Right.
And we've just, I can't think of a single person that I couldn't say I haven't enjoyed training with.
All right, we got a few more questions.
Absolutely.
Then maybe you could tell us about more of the students over there.
Sure.
Donald Kramer, what's your 5-year plan? I think you kind of mentioned it earlier.
I really don't have much of a 5-year plan.
Right.
Don't have much of a plan. Just continue wrestling and keep on grinding.
Excellent. He has a follow-up.
Yes.
What keeps you going when you feel down?
Just Monty.
There you go. All right. Monty.
Honestly, Monty lives with me, and we joke about it. I look at him and I go, "You are our ambition, and I am our diplomacy." Yeah.
There you go.
He's like, "Let's go, let's go, let's go."
Right.
And I'm like, "All right, let's go. Let's tone it back just a bit. This is how we're gonna, we're gonna ask that guy
Right.
for a booking, but this is how we're gonna word it. I'll handle that."
Right.
But he's the one networking for us most
Yep.
of the time because he's much better at all the computer stuffs. And I'm just kind of like our diplomat,
Okay.
All right, this is how we're gonna word it, this is how we're gonna tone this down. But he is my ambition. He gets me he gets me up in the morning, he keeps me at 100. He's had me skip out on class a couple of times because he's just like, "Kid, wake up. Nah, you need your rest today." So he's been taking care of me, and he's the one that just absolutely makes it a blast to be there. So all the credit to you, Monty. He continues to make sure and motivate me and make sure that I'm giving it my all.
Right. Excellent. Andrew Crane, what is your dream feud or storyline?
Any storyline that gets to challenge me. I love to be challenged as a character. Does that necessarily mean I want to be challenged like super in the ring?
Okay.
But if it's a storyline that makes me have to really think, what would Kid V be doing in here? I did some theater, some Shakespearean theater back when I was a kid. So it's like, what can make Kid V go through that range of emotions that can build him as a character, that can make people think, what does Kid V do outside of wrestling?
Okay.
Not necessarily myself.
Right.
But how does Kid V get from venue to venue? What does he do besides just wrestle? If I can get someone thinking about that and start plugging in their own headcanon to what the life of Kid V,
Right.
that really makes me go, wow, I've made someone so invested that they think just beyond the veil of what they see. And I would love to, have a feud that kind of pulls back that curtain and makes them go, wow, that Kid V, we always think of him as silly and everything, but he's from Funtown, Splashtown. Where in there?
Yeah.
Where in Saco does he live?
Right.
Does he live under the Ferris wheel, the log cannon
More
slide?
depth to your character.
Right. So if I can make people, if I can have a story that makes people think about that,
Right.
that's what I'm looking for. You know, something to challenge me in that character aspect.
All right. Excellent. Last question. Davis Matthews, why did you copy my 4th of July t-shirt?
I'm not sure. I've got only 3 T-shirts out. This being one of them.
I swear I get more questions of guys asking about themselves, honestly, than asking a real legitimate question.
Hey, you know, it is what it is.
I'm just saying, I get one almost every episode.
Right.
All right, so listen, I know one guy for sure, and I don't, this is no slight on anybody else, but one of the guys I know that's training over there is Edgar Arthur Stevens.
Yes.
Who I feel is going to have a pretty good career with this as a manager.
Yes.
I like his delivery. I like almost everything about him, what I've seen.
Right.
Tell me a little more about him.
Well, Mr. Stevens, Mr. Roadhouse.
Yes.
He's got that tough biker look.
Yes.
He's a big boy.
Big dude. Big dude.
But he's been since day one. That's what he's wanted to do. He came in and he wanted to be able to just deliver, and he had this idea for the Roadhouse, for this kind of biker gang kind of thing. And the big thing is now we just gotta fill around him.
Right.
You know, give him the people that he needs so we can have him manipulate or lead or however you want to put it.
Right.
His troops into battle. And he's been putting in the work since day one. When he came in, you know, one of the things, like, he'd come in and his workout was, you know, he walking to school.
Right.
And he'd just be in there. And I know eventually Bud and I would encourage him, hey, while they're doing drills, you know, just go ahead and say some things, you know, cheer on one of the guys.
Yeah. Why not? That's only going to help him in the long run.
Exactly. And he started doing that. And from there, he started getting into the ring, doing tens, hitting the ropes 10 times.
Nice.
So he's been putting in the
more
work.
involved.
Absolutely. He did just get over a bout of the flu.
Ooh, well, I hope he's feeling better.
He is feeling better. From
good.
last I heard, he was back at the training center on Saturday.
Oh, good.
So that's great. But, now he's getting into it. He's gotten to see a little bit of the live crowd because it's you can't give a live crowd reaction
Right.
out of school.
Right.
Because we're all in on the secret.
Yeah.
You know, so we can go ahead and say things like, hey, you stink and everything like that. But when a little kid ends up cursing at you with the mouth of a sailor on a PG show and you turn around, you're like, ah.
There's nothing like it. I mean, you need that interaction with the crowd. He definitely does.
He's starting to get that. He's starting to go up to Maine a little bit.
Oh, that's good.
Work up there. He's did the Clipper, and I think he did a match where he managed TJ Cross against Stiff Mike. So.
That APW?
Yep, that was APW.
Okay.
So.
What was TJ Crawford?
TJ Cross.
Cross. I haven't seen
Or
him.
Jordan Cross. I can't remember which name he used.
It might have been John. I feel like I know both those names.
Right.
All like different ways too.
He's one of the students at the school. He wrestled over in the Midwest territories. You know, he did some time.
Right.
But now that he's up here, he joined with us, and he's been such a father figure and such a leader. This
Nice.
Jordan Cross. Yes, that's his wrestling name.
Okay.
But just an amazing leader of men. So paternal towards all the students.
That's good. You can never have enough guys looking out for each other.
Absolutely. And just a fantastic person. I cannot say enough good things about
Do
him.
you have any female trainees?
We just had another one sign on, actually.
nice.
So, we've had some come and some go and everything. Yeah,
Have you seen a lot of that?
of course. I mean,
That is too bad, but that's
is.
part of that type of business.
but at the same time, when you look at it in the overall scheme of things,
Yeah.
you just see people come and go in
Right,
general. So, I've seen already just at Next Gen, I've probably seen about, 12 guys come and 12 guys go.
right.
So, it's the same for the females. They come, they go,
Right.
they do, you got to just do what makes them happy. But we
Yeah.
just had a new one sign on, a good friend of Andrew Crane. So
Who just asked a question a couple minutes ago.
So Alicia, again, my brain is a sieve with names, but she just signed on, and I've got to hang out with her a couple of times outside of wrestling. She's just a cool person, just And I really hope that she enjoys her time
Right.
over at Next Gen with us. And, you know, if she just wants to come in for the workout, come in for the workout. If she wants to come in and be a valet or manager or
right.
wrestler, whatever she sets her sights on, that's going to be her
That's
prerogative
pretty
to go after and go for.
It's good to see, you know what I mean, all the schools are doing, because now there's like been a few more pop-up.
Absolutely.
What I like to see is I know a lot of places are letting people train.
Yep.
Take advantage of that as much as you can. That's all you independent wrestlers. Because back in the past, it was frowned upon.
You stay in your lane, you stay where you go.
Yes. Is there anybody you want to bring up right now? We got a minute, 30 seconds. Somebody you like, or I can go off the list.
I'm going to go JT, my good friend, Jonathan Thomas. Jonathan, take care of yourself. We care about you. We care about you, and we want to see you always in class doing your best. I mean, I could go ahead and I could literally run down the list. We got Dylan, we got a couple of new guys whose names I forget because once again, boys, my brain just doesn't work. Cassius Hall.
Nice.
Keon.
Yep.
Over at WFA.
Yes.
Just there's so many.
Aren't you wrestling Cassius?
I am wrestling Cassius.
Why don't you tell everybody about that? February 11th?
Yes, February 11th, this Saturday.
Newport Elks.
Absolutely.
25 Low Street.
And we're gonna be doing No Love Lost, and of course it's February. It's the month of love. Kid V is all about that love and energy. Mwah.
That match is gonna be insane, because Cassius is
can
really
go.
good, and Keon is really coming along, man.
Keon, we all knew that these two.
I see him wrestle at the WFA show.
Absolutely.
Kid is really coming on, man.
We all knew that these two were gonna be
Yep.
talents.
We cheer them on hard over at the concessions table.
Beautiful.
All right, how about throw one day match?
Sure.
Vanity Vixen.
Vanity Vixen.
I love Jen.
I mean, how can you not love Jen?
Right?
She's so wonderful. Outside the ring, inside the ring, you know, she comes in and you're just like, it's going to be a good day.
Nice, Jay. Thanks for coming
Thank
on,
you,
my
Leo.
friend. I
Much
appreciate
appreciated.
it. Guys, we're out. Peace. Hi, guys. I hope you're enjoying the show. Listen, I could use a little help to grow my YouTube channel. So if you could please like, share, and subscribe. That's most importantly, subscribe. Send me a direct message, and I'll give you a shout out here on the show. My YouTube channel is real simple. It's just my name, Leo Connors. Thanks in advance. Peace.